All right, Deputy Mayor, we're ready to begin whenever you're ready.
Okay, good morning, everybody. On this fine snowy morning, nice to see everybody's here. Is Jim, Rod? Yeah, okay. Anyways, welcome everybody. I just want to say I'm very pleased to be on council, and I'm very pleased to be part of this committee. And anyways, looking forward to chairing the meetings and being very helpful for the community in this role. I also want to thank all the committee for putting their name forward and joining the committee. It's great. I'm looking forward to this year's working together with all the committee. So I'm just going to move on here. Sorry, were you talking there, Martina?
No, I think there's just some background noise, but
Sorry.
we're fine.
Okay.
Does someone have someone speaking in the background?
Sounds like something is on there. We give everybody a few minutes there. Okay.
All right, sounds quieter now.
Don't hear it now. Anyways, well, again, welcome everybody. Before we begin, I would like to remind everybody that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the Township YouTube channel. We will be holding the meeting as though we were in council chambers, and we will follow all of our regular policies and procedures. Please raise your hand if you would like to speak on a matter, and I will call on you. When I call for the vote, I will call for all in favor, followed by all those opposed. And you will physically raise your hand to vote in the manner you wish to vote. I'd like to call the roll now, and please raise your hand and state your presence when I call your name. Committee member Jim Patterson.
Here I am. Good morning, all.
Morning, Jim. Committee member Mark Porter.
Morning, everyone. Nice to make your virtual acquaintance. Hopefully at some point this will be in person.
Yes. And committee member Robert Lamar.
Here I am, present and accounted for.
Great. Committee member Rod Manley.
Here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rod. And our staff, we have our secretary treasurer and acting clerk, Martina Chart-Hatwick.
Good morning.
And our planner, Christina Coulter.
Here, good morning, everyone.
And so with all the committee in attendance, I would like to call the meeting to order. I also ask committee members if they have any pecuniary interest. Martina can explain this if there is any questions. I see no pecuniary interest. And so first item on the agenda is we have our Committee of Adjustment minutes from February 25th, 22. We will need a mover and a seconder to receive and approve these minutes.
I think because Rod and I are the only survivors from that meeting,
Yes.
it's probably up to us to say so.
So Jim, Jim will move that, and seconded by Rod, and all in favor. Carried.
Deputy Mayor, just before we get into the application, did you want all the committee members to just introduce themselves?
Sure, that would be great, Martina. Why don't we start with Jim? Jim,
Sure.
why don't we call upon Jim to start off there?
Okay. I didn't write a speech. I live on the duck pond on Stony Lake. I've lived here for almost 20 years. I escaped from Toronto, where I had an advertising marketing career. And I swear to this day that the best view of Toronto is the one in the rear view mirror. So I'm glad to be here and glad to be working on this committee. And in the background, I'm one of the ones that when the board or the council decided to let mere citizens have a say in this committee of adjustment, I was one of the two first people to join that citizens committee then. So I'm glad to see it's evolving, and now we've got 4 of us working hard.
Thanks, Jim. Next, Rod.
Thanks, Harold. Yeah, so I worked in the Township of Selwyn for 30 years in the Building and Planning Department. So I do have some experience on the other side of this process, and essentially in Christina's position, having reviewed and drafted reports related to minor variances and things of that nature. So hopefully that experience will benefit the township. I've been living in Douro-Dummer for ever since I moved to the area 34 years ago. I'm living in the only house I ever bought. Really enjoy it. So I'm hoping to provide some support for the community that I've called my own. So happy to be here.
Great, thanks, Rod. Rod Manley.
Hi, I'm in my sort of second term on this committee. I was born and raised in Autonomy Township, and then was the last official reeve of Asphodel Township, and then part of the joint Asphodel Norwood Council for a number of years, since retired from that life and moved to beautiful downtown Warsaw, which we truly enjoy. Other than that, looking forward to getting to know everybody and on the same page, and this will be great. Thanks, Harold.
Thanks, Rod. And next we have Mark Porter.
Morning, everyone. My name is Mark Porter. You may recognize me. I was an unsuccessful candidate in the most recent township election. Following that defeat, I was still interested in contributing to the community, and thought that the Committee of Adjustment and Planning Committees would be a great way to kind of get wet behind the ears, get to know a little bit more about the operations in and around planning, land use, and get to know the community a little bit better. For myself personally, I've lived in Peterborough County for over 33 years, and in Douro for the last 20 plus years. 3 kids, and I work in a small business, family business, second generation consulting firm, and just look forward to listening and learning, and hopefully contributing in a meaningful way to the decisions to be made here. So thanks for having me.
Great, thank you very much, Mark. Do we want to hear any little bit of background from maybe staff? I think that'd be nice. Martina, go ahead.
Sure. I'm Martina Chait-Hartwig. I've been at the Township of Douro-Dummer in numerous roles for about 11 years now. I live in Peterborough with my husband. I love the Committee of Adjustment and Planning Committee. I actually look forward to these every time. I think the committee always has really interesting discussions and brings forward good resolutions to council. and really contributes to positive growth in the community. So happy to be here again.
Thanks, Martina. And Christina.
Good morning. Thank you. Oh, you're putting me on the spot. I didn't think I was going to have to tell you all who I am, but I'm happy to. So I'm Christina Coulter. I'm a recent addition to the Township of Douro-Dummer. I started at the end of June last year. Previous to that, I have had much planning experience working for the County of Peterborough, the Kawartha Pine Ridge District School Board, and most recently the Township of Cavan-Monaghan. So I'm excited to be working with this committee. You all sound like you will be able to bring lots of great information and advice and knowledge to this committee. So I look forward to working with all of you.
Thanks, Christina. And I guess I might as well give you, anybody that doesn't know, a little introduction from myself. I was formerly the road superintendent or manager of public works with the township. I held that role from 2005. Prior to that, I was with the county from 1986 till 2005. And prior to that, I was working with Drain Brothers for about 5 years. And then I moved to Harnan King for a year out of Coburg. So I was extensively in, my background was in building roads and in road construction and managing the township's network of roads basically for the last 15 years was what I did before I retired 2 years ago. And I come back then, ran for council this past fall, and they elected me then for as deputy mayor. So I'm excited to be on this committee. I will apologize right up front if I do make some mistakes. I'll be leaning on staff to keep us going in the right way. And anyways, I'm looking forward. So without any further ado, we might as well get on with our meeting. So thanks everybody, and I look forward to working with you all. So I guess we've approved the past minutes. So we have a minor variance application, 51A0222 Jersey. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Planning Department, from the Planning Department, 2023-02. And we have, I believe, the applicant's agent, which is Ken Curry, in attendance. And I'm going to turn this over to Christina to do her thing on this application. So without further ado, I'll turn that over to Christina.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee and the public. This is the public meeting for minor variance application file number A-02-22. The committee has before them report planning 2023-02 with the following recommendations. That the committee review and consider all verbal and written comments received regarding minor variance application file A02-22. That the committee approve minor variance application A02-22 as requested for the life of the structure to facilitate the issuance of a building permit for the construction of a detached accessory garage. That's the proposed garage as staked, as shown on the surveyor's real property report prepared by Elliott and Parr, Peterborough, Ontario Land Surveyors, dated October 19th, 2022, attached to the decision as Schedule A, and to bring the proposed structure into compliance with the zoning bylaw. This variance is deemed to be minor in nature and is appropriate for the development of this land. The application maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw. The approval is conditional on the following: obtaining any necessary permits from ORCA, Douro-Dummer Building Department, and any other required ministry agency. The second, that verification from an Ontario Land Surveyor be provided to the township's chief building official after the structure is framed to confirm that all applicable setback requirements have been met and to ensure compliance with any relief granted by this decision of the committee. And finally, that if any archaeological artifacts are found during construction, that all development shall be halted immediately and the proper agency be contacted. So on behalf of the owners, Ed and Deb Dursey, their agent, Ken Curry, has applied for a minor variance on their property located at 1081 Moody Drive. The owners wish to construct a detached accessory structure approximately 66.9 square meters in size and 1 story or 3.35 meters in height. The purpose of the minor variance is to decrease the minimum setback requirement of the proposed accessory structure from the lot line abutting Moody Drive from 15 meters to 3 meters, and to increase the maximum lot coverage for all accessory buildings and structures on the subject property from 5% to 5.6%. Notice of the public meeting was given on December 20th, 2022 by ordinary mail and or email to all prescribed persons and public bodies, and to every person and public body requesting notice. The notice of the public meeting was also circulated to every owner of land within 60 meters of the subject property, and a sign was posted on the property along with posting on the township's website. The giving of notice complies with the applicable regulations of the Planning Act. There were no written or verbal comments received from members of the public. However, a request for additional information and to view the public meeting on the YouTube channel was received from neighbors adjacent to the subject property. Senior staff of the township did not identify any concerns. And as of the writing of this report, there have been no written or verbal comments received from prescribed persons or public bodies. However, the following comments were received after the writing of the report. So I'm going to try to summarize them. Curve Lake First Nation did provide correspondence on January 6th, requesting the completion of an archaeological assessment, and that be forwarded to Curve Lake First Nation, and to have Curve Lake First Nation liaison on site for the assessment. I did speak with Curve Lake First Nation staff yesterday, and they were going to undertake a site visit yesterday afternoon to determine if their comments were still required. This morning, and I'm going to switch screens, I did receive correspondence from their staff, and I'm just going to read it. So Tiffany is their their archaeological program administrator, and she has indicated that although I still find the potential to finding archaeological and cultural resources remains on the higher end, I can also appreciate the fact that this property has undergone substantial disturbance that likelihood has been diminished. With this new information and with the help of the site visit and seeing the property for myself, I can conclude that Curve Lake First Nations Consultation Department no longer requires 1081 Moody Drive to need an archaeological assessment. Please proceed with your development plans as described to me. As discussed, if any archaeological resources are discovered during the construction phase, please call our offices immediately, and we will send someone out right away to investigate any finds. No further concerns for 1081 Moody Drive, and please let us know if you require anything further. Following that, we also received comments from the Otonabee Region Conservation Authority, and they have indicated that the application is consistent with Provincial Policy Statement Section 3.1 regarding natural hazards. The application is consistent with Sections 2.1 and 2.2 of the Provincial Policy Statement regarding natural heritage and water, and conforms to the Growth Plan Sections 4.2.3 and 4.2.4 regarding key hydrologic features, key hydrologic areas, and key natural heritage features and lands adjacent to key hydrologic features and key natural heritage features. The location of the proposed garage is outside of their regulated area, and as such, a permit is not required from the authority for new development. And finally, the subject property is not located within an area that is subject to the policies contained within the source protection plan. The subject lands have been identified, this is my comment, as being located within 300 meters of a known archaeological site. Typically, that would require the completion of an archaeological assessment. However, based on the comments received from Curve Lake First Nation and the previous disturbance of the site, staff feel that the recommended condition to halt construction immediately if any archaeological artifacts are found, and to contact the proper agencies is a sufficient condition. So I think with that, I will turn it back to the chair for any further comments.
Okay, thanks, Christina. Do we have any further comments on the proposed application before us? Seeing no hands, I guess we will call for a vote on the application. Do we have a mover and a seconder?
I would move the recommendation made by the planner, by Christina.
Okay, and a seconder to that. I've seen Mark's hand. So Rob and Mark, all in favor? Carried. Any opposed? I've seen all in favor, so sorry. I'm just going back between the papers here. Sorry about that. Okay, I think I don't think there's anything else on the agenda. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm flipping between screens again here. Sorry. Just gonna bring this back up. Oh, it seems that you lose it when you need it the most.
Deputy Mayor, did you want Christina or I to talk about the appeal process for this application before we go on to the next?
Yes, that would.
item?
Yes, that would be great, Martina. Whoever would like to take that. Sorry.
Yeah, Christina, I saw your hand pop up. You want to take that part?
I was just going to say the same thing, Martina, thanks. So just for the committee's information and for the agent, there will be, after the decision is provided, there's a 20-day appeal period. If there are no appeals received within that period, then the decision will be in full force and effect. The decision, the 20 days does start immediately, beginning today, and we have, I believe, 10 days to provide the notice of the decision. So I think that's good, unless Martina has anything else to add.
Yeah, I'll just add that for the committee members, you do need to sign the decision. I do have digital signatures for 2 of the committee members. For the other committee members, if you'd like to send me a digital signature, I can affix it, or you can swing by the office and do an actual physical signature, whatever you prefer. But if we can try to get that done today, then we can get these notices out on Monday and keep the ball rolling for the applicants.
Okay, I see Mark Porter with his hand up there.
For the new guy to the whole process, just to be clear, the appeal process and the window of 20 days, the appeal could be made by any stakeholder following the decision. Is that accurate?
Thank you. Through you, Chair. The appeal process is for only those who have submitted written or verbal comments prior to the meeting. So we only provide notice to those people who have requested it and to the agent and the owner.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, it looks like our next meeting date will be February 24th if needed. And I'm sure Martina will be notifying us of anything that is coming up. And so anyways, if there's no other business, I will look for a motion to end the meeting. So moved by Jim, seconder by Rod, all in favor? Carried. Okay, looks like we got a planning meeting coming up in about 5 minutes, so we'll leave this meeting and we'll see us all back at the next meeting for the planning meeting. Okay,
Right.
thanks, guys.